welcome and thanks for joining us on this edition of News 2. I'm Sandra Mansing. The St. Croix Chamber of Commerce hosted Governor John DeYoung Thursday at their annual meeting and Business of the Year Awards breakfast. The dining area at the Palms at Pelican Cove Hotel was packed to capacity as business owners gave the governor their full attention. News 2's Erica Parsons has that story.
This morning's meeting was very upbeat. We heard all about the Chamber's accomplishments for the past year as well as their challenges. But the big question they had for Governor DeYoung was, when will the cost of energy go down? Close to 100 people listened as the St. Croix Chamber of Commerce's new president said they're moving forward despite the challenges facing the business community. But he said the Chamber's board of directors' 3-year focus will be on the high cost of energy that's crippling businesses.
Our energy crisis poses an immediate life and death threat to the St. Croix business community. We need to know, at least within some sort of range, how much our electricity bills are going to come down, and we need to know by when.
Governor DeYoung responded in kind, laying out the territory's biggest challenges: the economy, energy, public safety, and health care, while talking about actions they've had to take to avoid crashing, like increasing gross receipts taxes, borrowing, and collecting delinquent taxes. He agreed on the topic of energy.
As Mark said, that the major item of concern right now, whether you're a business or an individual, is the cost of electricity within our homes.
And plans the VI has to address it?
We're working on the distribution to Puerto Rico. Will it reduce our costs? It may increase our liability, but we know that's years off. We're looking primarily at the retrofitting of WAPA's generation units so they can handle either diesel, propane, or liquefied natural gas. We believe that liquefied natural gas and the propane method will be in place within 18 months, particularly with propane, and it'll reduce our utility costs by a minimum of a third. Beyond that, then we're looking at liquefied natural gas as the way to go.
Erica Parsons, News 2.
At the meeting, the Chamber also announced this year's award winners for St. Croix businesses. Well, many residents on St. Thomas and St. John experienced island-wide power outages early Thursday afternoon. WAPA spokeswoman Cassandra Dunn said that the outages occurred when an expansion joint on Unit 23 ruptured, causing the plant to shut down temporarily.
At the Randolph E. Harley Power Plant had a ruptured expansion joint. As a result of that, the load, the energy demand on the system at that time could not be carried by the generating units that were online, and the entire plant shut down. Technical crews worked to troubleshoot the problem, and at the same time, other plant technicians began bringing all of the generating units that were available online. By about 4:45, the majority of feeders were back online, and by 5:15, all feeders had been restored to service on St. Thomas, St. John, and Water Island.
Now, the authority regrets any inconvenience caused by this service interruption. Be sure to count on News 2 to keep you updated. Meanwhile, the attention is on power theft in this week's Crime Stoppers report. It's a crime with serious punishments to include fines up to $5,000 and/or jail time up to 1 year. To report a suspected theft, call 715-6563 or 1-800-222-TIPS. Cassandra Dunn explains some examples of power theft.
There are still some of our neighbors who continue to meter tamper to avoid paying their fair share. And then there's also the dangerous practice by those who seem willing to endanger their lives and their limbs to cut and steal the copper wires from some of our overhead power lines. That's very, very risky, but it also results in additional cost to WAPA and to our customers.
Ashul Bandari was sentenced Thursday in federal court. According to the Department of Justice, the former president and CEO of Gem Manufacturing, a VI-based company, was sentenced for felony customs violations for his role in a scheme to illegally import protected black coral into the U.S. Bandari is the last defendant to be sentenced in the investigation. The scheme cost the company millions of dollars in financial penalties and sent 2 of his trading partners to prison. Thursday, Bandari was sentenced to 1 month in jail, followed by 1 month of home confinement and 1 year of supervised release, during which he must complete 300 hours of community service Bandari must also pay almost $1 million in criminal fines and another $230,000 to the University of the Virgin Islands for coral research and protection. Weekend mail delivery is coming to an end. The U.S. Postal Service announced on Wednesday they plan to halt Saturday delivery of letters and other first-class mail by August. The efforts are an attempt to chip away at billions of dollars in losses. News 2's Erica Bivens explains how it will affect the territory.
Are very serious.
Wednesday at a news conference, the U.S. Postmaster General announced Saturday delivery of mail will be discontinued.
When you lose the first-class volume that we've seen, you can't make ends meet from a financial standpoint. The choice is either change some of the service or raise prices.
Although it's not the first time the U.S. Postal Service has threatened to stop Saturday delivery, the initiative is expected to begin in August. The latest announcement is estimated to save the U.S. Postal Service about $2 billion annually. Last year alone, they lost about $16 billion. But will the new initiative affect the territory?
Yes, effective August 5th.
That's when Postmaster Silva Gibbs says no letters or flat pieces will be delivered on city or highway contract routes. But Saturday package delivery will continue and the lobby will remain open 6 days a week.
Because there'll be no mail delivery on Saturday, Mondays is going to be our very high volume day for the carriers as well as for the clerks.
And although mail volume has dropped significantly in the territory, our Postal Service, financially speaking, is in decent shape.
Because we have such a large parcel delivery service, it equalizes the amount of revenues that's coming in. And we also have new programs called Every Door Direct, where advertisers could send out mailing at a very low cost of 14 cents a piece. Over the last year, we had $159,000 worth of revenue in that area alone.
Because they're not filling positions of those retiring, Gibbs doesn't foresee any cuts in hours or personnel. For News 2, I'm Erica Bivens.
And in other post office news, Gibbs says all VI locations are currently experiencing internet issues and therefore cannot accept credit or debit card payments. Only cash or check is being accepted. Well, the president's choice to lead the CIA faces Congress today. At his confirmation hearing, John Brennan faced tough questions about the Obama administration's use of deadly drone strikes. Danielle Nottingham reports from Washington.
Human rights groups like Code Pink do not want John Brennan to become the next CIA director. And today, lawmakers get their chance to grill the president's pick to run the nation's top spy agency. Brennan's Senate confirmation hearing comes in the middle of a growing controversy over U.S. drone strikes targeting terror suspects overseas. As President Obama's counterterrorism chief, Brennan helped manage the drone program.
In many cases, we're talking about hardened terrorists, but we do need to have a different approach when an American citizen is involved.
Now the White House is letting lawmakers look at classified information explaining the legal justification for using strikes targeting American terror suspects. Lawmakers on both sides of the aisle are raising concerns about the program. Brennan is also expected to face tough questions about his time as a CIA executive during the Bush administration and what he knew about enhanced interrogation techniques.
He's going to face questions from Democrats about his prior role in detention and rendition policies.
Brennan has said he was aware of the program but did not play a role in its creation, execution, or oversight. Today's hearing could decide whether or not Brennan becomes the next CIA director. Danielle Nottingham, News 2.
And keeping our eye on the economy, investors were not impressed with the latest unemployment reports. New figures point to a slow but steady recovery in the job market. The government says the number of Americans applying for unemployment benefits fell slightly last week to 366,000. Analysts say overall the figures point to the same slow hiring that's persisted for nearly 2 years. This is a New York Stock Exchange with Scotiabank's Stock Market Watch. The Dow, Nasdaq, S&P all down. Dow 42, Nasdaq 3, S&P 2. Coming up on News 2 in this Black History Moment, we take a look at best-selling author, award-winning filmmaker and Professor M.K. Asante, who shared his story with many young men in the VI this week during the Man Up conferences. We'll be right back. Governor John DeYoung Jr. spent part of his day Wednesday touring the historic town and recreational areas on St. Thomas. The governor visited 3 different areas, including the Rothschild Market Square, the Winston Ramo Recreation Center, and Smith Bay Basketball Court, all a way to promote the ongoing revitalization of the island while rebranding our towns.
Going towards a beautification that really looks at rebranding Charlotte Amalie. The same way the rebranding that we're doing also in Christiansted, and we're going to start also doing in Frederiksted. With the very difficult financial times, but we're making sure that in some areas that we don't cut back too much. Make sure that our community centers are functional for our young people, that they can go and they can enjoy, have a good time, and make sure that our parks also can be utilized. And we'll find things for our children to do that can keep them away from other activities which may get them in trouble, and we can offer them alternatives.
Students from the Junior Achievement Company program displayed their entrepreneurship skills at Thursday's St. Croix Chamber meeting. The Achievers talked about J.A. Vibe, a jewelry-making company they formed, and they presented Governor DeYoung with a bracelet they made for him, then turned around and sold it to him. The Chamber invests in the program to support education.
Junior Achievement is a great experience. I would recommend this to youths. It teaches us about the real world and to become future entrepreneurs, and teaches us about the business.
I have learned that making a business is not as easy as it seems. Just because you have a business doesn't mean you have not to put hard work in it, because you have to put lots of hard work to make it successful.
In this Black History moment, we take a look at best-selling author, award-winning filmmaker, and Professor M.K. Asante, born in Zimbabwe and raised in the rough area of North Philadelphia. Asante was able to shift his attention away from the distractions of his surroundings to the pages of books in the library. He has since written and produced many celebrated books and feature films. Earlier this week, Asante made an appearance at the Man Up Male Empowerment Conference to share his inspirations and journeys with the students in attendance.
Up until this point, school has mostly, for me, been about rote memorization, regurgitation, security guards, cops in the hallways, this kind of thing, metal detectors. Hasn't really been an educational environment. And so the teacher says, I want everyone to write. And so, you know, my natural instinct was not to do it because I hadn't been in the business of doing schoolwork at that point. And she comes up to me and she says, well, write, because I wasn't doing it. She says, write. And I said, well, what do you want me to write about? And she says, write anything you want. And that moment right there changed my life.
The 18th annual Valentine's Day Jump Up takes place this Friday in Christiansted Town, and members of the Retail and Restaurant Association say they're ready and looking forward to the thousands of participants that come out to the annual event. News 2's Janisha John brings us more from Christiansted.
The town of Christiansted will come to life Friday night as dozens of store and restaurant owners are gearing up for the 18th annual Valentine's Day Jump Up.
Tomorrow, beginning at 6 p.m., will be the 18th edition of the Valentine's Jump Up. We have a whole host of entertainment and quality restaurant-type entities here in Christiansted.
Vendors and live entertainment will fill the street of Christiansted for Jump Up. Meanwhile, those who want to shop can visit dozens of stores that'll keep their doors open with Valentine's specials.
Well, we're looking forward to having a really good time. You know, a lot of people coming into Christiansted, you know, enjoying the Jump Up. We have some specialty items in for Valentine's Day. It should be just an all-around good time in Christiansted.
I think Jump Up has always been a good added shopping experience. And not only that they're shopping it, but they're getting lots of specials, and all the restaurants are offering good specials, and we are here until 10 o'clock just to allow them to have a good shopping experience.
Most businesses are open till 9:30, 10 p.m. Because Jump Up not only is one of those type of things where we come and enjoy the vendors, the local food, it's economic initiatives.
An economic initiative that is much needed, as constant construction in Christiansted has deterred customers in the last few months. However, Jump Up coordinators say that the construction will be completed and all streets will be open.
The streets of Christiansted, including King Street, which we all know has been going through construction over the last 10 days or so, will be opened. We hope that once we bring thousands of people in this environment, hopefully they'll share with us and come and support our retailers, come and support our restaurants, our bars, etc.
Meanwhile, visitors from Pennsylvania are already looking forward to the Jump Up celebration.
I'm just really looking forward to having fun and enjoying what they're going to be doing.
We're looking forward to the vendors, and they say there's lots of music and lots of things to eat, just lots of fun, lots of drinking.
Janisha John, News 2.
Seeing some of the latest videos featuring scenes from the Virgin Islands, chances are you were watching the work of Digitech. The guys stopped by our studios to share with us what's happening behind the lens and what we can expect on the big screen in the future. Well, we'd like to welcome members of Digitech Films here at our TV2 studios, and of course we know you work behind the scenes, so this is a chance to bring you up front and tell us a little bit about what you do.
Digitech originally started as an idea among us here as a production outlet for recording artists. I myself happen to be a recording artist.
So we went from 2009 to now, and we've been hearing a lot of Digitech. So tell me, Dwight, a little bit about some of the projects you recently worked on that people might not realize you were behind of the projects.
No Guts, No Glory. We actually went to Jamaica, did that video, went to Dominica again, did another video with Naira again. Most recent one actually we have right now is with Jaman and Pressure. It's called Gangster City. And then of course the Love City Live show. We just did Love City Live over in St. John. That was a crazy concert with Steel Pulse, and that was really good, the whole experience.
You can log into www.digitechfilms.com. That would take you directly to our YouTube channel, where you'd be able to see most of our recent work that we've done.
Well, you also neglected to mention that some of the videos shots made it to the Cross Caribbean Countdown on Tempo more than once.
Awesome.
Was that something you would say you guys were aiming for, or was it just kind of like a surprise reward?
I would say we were aiming for it because, I mean, we're in business to aim to the top, you know, and having that exposure is just a great feeling.
And we're always encouraging aspiring models, you know, to get in contact with us. So ladies, if you're interested, you're a model, you know, just contact us on Facebook. Hit us up at digitechfilms@gmail.com.
We could take it basically straight down from a rhythm, record your song, get a video shot for it, take care of your social media marketing and whatever you need, get that distributed. So once you come to see us, you're covered as an artist. You know, you don't have to think about anything else again.
Get a package deal.
Okay. Congratulations to the guys. Be sure to stick around. Your News2 AccuWeather forecast is coming up next.